Here I am in the studio with Chafford Toole. I'm gonna let him introduce himself.
I'm Chafford Toole. I'm from right here in St. Matthews, South Carolina, about 40 minutes south of Columbia. Um, 30 years old, farm for a living, and a coon hunt.
So you farm for a living and you coon hunt. You farm your own farm, Chafford?
No, sir. I got started farming. I graduated Clemson in 2019 with an agriculture degree, and went to work for a row crop farm here, and we gin cotton. And here in the last year, I took a job at Super Sod in Orangeburg. So we farm about 4,000 acres of sod and turf.
Man, that's pretty neat. You see these people with these pretty lawns, and you're the one responsible for it, right?
The majority of them around here, yes, sir.
When I think about farming, I don't ever think about growing grass. We're always trying to keep grass out of stuff.
Man, it was a big change to go from growing cotton and peanuts to growing grass. It was a learning curve for me, but
Yeah, I
I
bet it
got it.
was for whatever reason. Um, we don't like grass and the stuff here.
Oh yeah.
Right out back here, I'm looking at about a couple hundred acres of tobacco, and
Mm-hmm.
we really don't like grass out there, and it takes up all the nutrients and
Oh yeah.
messes with the
Oh
tobacco
yeah.
plants.
Yes, sir, for sure.
So we're gonna talk about coon hunting tonight. So I'm gonna let you have the floor. Tell us about tell us about your coon dogs. Tell us about how you got into it. Just tell us about it.
Yes, sir. I probably started, you know, growing up when I was young, how I got into dog hunting. My dad had a pack of deer dogs, and that's what we did every Saturday when I was a kid, probably till I was 12 or 13 years old. And he kind of got out of it as a couple of his good dogs got killed, and we slowly kind of got out of it. And well, I got my driver's license, and I wanted a pack of dogs, so I went and got me a pack of deer dogs, and I hunted deer dogs for a couple of years. And I was in high school. I was playing sports, hanging out with my friends, doing other stuff. So I kind of drifted away from the deer dogs there for a little while, and I wasn't dog hunting for a couple of years in there. And then I graduated high school. And when I graduated high school, I went to a small tech school right here in Orangeburg, and met my best friend now and my kennel partner, Kyle Hildebrand. Well, Kyle was big into the coon hunting. So I started going with him a little bit, and man, I fell in love with it. And he had a pretty good old dog. He was hunting for a fella out of Beaufort, and he would do a little handling for the public and stuff back then. And I'd been a few times when I was a kid, but I had never really been with a good dog. And I good. But yeah, I got to hunting pretty hard with Kyle, and he placed that dog in the Grand American one year when I think it was probably 2014 or 2015. We were hunting real hard, and I decided I wanted to get a dog of my own. So I bought a couple dogs, couple young dogs. I could get them going. I didn't really know what I was doing then. I was trying to learn, and I got a couple of them dogs going, but none of them really suited me. They weren't quite what I was looking for, and I ended up finding a dog on the PKC website out in Missouri that caught my eye, and I bought him, got him shipped here from a dog hauler, and I hunted him pretty hard, and he turned into a pretty nice dog. But me and Kyle knew a lot more about it than I did. So he was going hunting with me then, and he said, "Man, I like that dog. I think we can do something with him. Would you sell me half of him?" I said, "Yeah, I'll sell you half of him." So I sold him half of him, and from then on, we've been kennel partners, and every dog we've had since then has been mine and his. But I hunted that dog pretty hard, and I did some winning with him. I placed him in the South Carolina State hunt, Adam Lowry from up there in St. Paul, North Carolina, handled him for me some because I wasn't a good handler then. I didn't know what I was doing. And he placed him in the Blue Ribbon Pro Hunt. So he did some winning, but he still wasn't the most accurate dog in the world. He had a lot of tools. He was fast. He would get treed, but I couldn't. You can't put accuracy in them. They either got it or they don't. You can adjust it a little bit, but he just
Well,
didn't have it. I like the gamey ones when they're young. I like for them to get after anything that'll breathe.
meat dogs, man, meat
Yes,
dogs.
sir. I could.
Their mama one day was running a deer and came across a fox squirrel and treed that fox squirrel. And one of my buddies actually has that fox squirrel mounted at his house right now. He
That's
went and
cool.
shot that fox squirrel and got it mounted.
Yeah. Ended up, I sold that dog, and I sold him for a couple $1,000s, which was good money back then for a dog. He had done some winning, and went and bought a pup from out of Tennessee, and Kyle was hunting him mostly, and he was doing really, really, really good. At 6 months old, he would go bust a hole in the darkened tree of coon. He went completely backwards on us. He got to where he was slick treeing real bad, and I was looking for something I could take to the hunts then. So I got back to looking on the PKC website, and I found old Big May. That's the dog in the picture behind me. Me and Big May did a lot of winning together. I bought her from two of the top dog men in this country, Coy and Mark Sullivan. And I got her to my house, and me and Kyle took her hunting. And the first night we took her hunting, we treed 5 singles with her. And I knew I had something then. There was a few kinks to work out with her, but I knew I had something to work with, and I got some of those kinks worked out, and I took her to town, and I won the first cast I ever put her in. Treed 2 singles in an hour, and me and her went on to win probably 50 casts over the last couple of years, and she's 8 now. She got her own room in my house, but I still hunt her in the winter a little bit. I think we won. Got in a couple pro hunts, got in a couple pro classics. We ran the state race one year, came in 11th in South Carolina with her. And I got a stack of wind slips. All of them are from May, and I probably didn't hunt her hard in the hunts, but 2 years. I let my nephew handle her a good bit now in some hunts. He's done good with her. He's won a few pro classics. He's got in the South Carolina championship with her. He's won the pro classic championship with her for the youth. He's done some winning with her too. She's been my number one that I put all my time into and my focus into her over the last. Bought her when she was 2. She's 8 now. And I just stopped hunting her this year. I bred her twice. I bred her to both times have been local dogs. The first time I made a cross, and in my opinion, it didn't work as well as I wanted it to. I had a good little female out the cross, but she would treat Coon. She just wasn't what I wanted. I'd give her away to a kid, and he loves her. Now, second cross I made on May, I bred her to local dog right here, buddy of mine, Fish, own dog named Spots. Now, Spots is a 4-time platinum champion. I think he won the truck hunt in 2017 or 18, something like that, when he had to get a truck ticket to win a truck. and that cross worked really well. Um, that cross gave me a little female I'm hunting now, which I send all my pups mostly to Adam Lowry in St. Paul, North Carolina. He's a top dog man, and he's a top pup starter. Um, he has started probably 80% of my pups for me, and he'll tell me straight up. He'll tell me, "This is the one you need to put your time in." I'll get them back from him, and I'll hunt them, see if I like them. I usually keep 2 out of each litter, and I'll hunt the one I like the most. I'm a female man. I don't too much hunt the male dogs much.
The female dogs tend to get along with each other a little better. I don't.
They do, and in my opinion, man, they're more level-headed. They're easier to train for the most part. I mean, every now and then you'll find a male dog that don't care about a female dog and don't pee on everything. I just the male dog stuff. I just don't. I like a female a lot better. I've had better success with a female. But
Yeah, I
yes,
get that.
I'll go ahead.
You were talking about training your dogs, and your guy telling you, which dog's better and which dog's this and that. What kind of collars you run on your dogs?
Garmin. I've always ran Garmin.
I come from the generation where we didn't have any collars.
But when I first started, I had a old wildlife system. And that's all I had. Like, as soon as the Garmin's come around, I started with a 320 Astro and went up from there. I got an Alpha 200 now, I think. It ain't the newest one. It's the next one down from that.
I went from no collar to telemetry collars to a 220, an Astro 220.
Mm-hmm.
Then I got a 320, and then I got an Alpha. So I've done the progression all the way, and I'm going to tell you, the Alpha, when I sit there in the truck and look up at the screen and it'll show me exactly where the dog is.
Yes, sir.
That really takes a lot of the guesswork out of it.
No,
then I got a handheld that I can walk to the tree with, or I can walk out to where the dog is with, and that makes all the difference in the world.
It does. It takes a lot of the guesswork out of it. I mean, you know how fast that dog's going. You know what that dog's doing at all times, and it helps. It helps as far as training one goes and stuff like that. I'm not when I train. I'm not big on a shock collar. I don't shock a dog much. And most of the line I got that I've been hunting for the past 8 years, you ain't got to shock them. You ain't got to beat on them. You look at them the wrong way, and they know you ain't happy with them, and they're really.
So what you're saying is you got to actually spend some time with the dog, training the dog.
I spend time with mine every day, every single day. My little dog's sitting over there in the corner in her cage right now. She sits in the house, and I spend time with her. I go in the yard, play with them. I mean, when I started this pup, my nephew, she lives with us. He'd go out in the backyard, man. I had a litter of 9 pups back there, and he tied a coon tail to a fishing rod, and he'd run them around the yard, around and round and round and round. And he picked this pup. He said, "I like this one." I said, "Okay, I'll let you pick it. This is going to be your dog." So he picked that one, and my wife spends time with him every day. She does a lot of the work behind the scenes for me. She cleans dog pens, feeds them, does all that. All I really do is play with them in the yard and take them to the woods.
Speaking of tying a coontail to a fishing pole and running them around the yard, got a video on my page. The video is probably about 10 years old, I guess. I got a video up there. My son and I and my son's girlfriend, we had a rabbit tail tied to a string, and we had a litter of puppies. They were little puppies. They were still in with their mama, little puppies, and had trash pile. We had a bunch of trash and stuff piled up in, leaves and limbs and stuff. And
Mm-hmm.
we drug that rabbit tail around the yard and then drug it up in that trash pile and turned them puppies loose. And they sniffed around and sniffed around and sniffed around, and they finally struck that rabbit. And they were little bitty things. You could pick them up and put them in your pocket.
Oh
And they
yeah.
took off running behind that rabbit, opening, barking every breath. They'd never been trained. They had never done anything. They'd never been out of the pen with their mama, really. I mean, other than to handle them a little bit. But they took
And
off after that thing like they've been doing it their whole life.
that's what I look for in a pup. Buddy of mine I talked to, he lives down in Florida. He actually did a lot of the training on May before Coy and them bought her, and which is who I bought her from. But he uh he told me one thing that's always stuck with me. They either got it or they don't. Is if you breed right, you breed it into them. So I ain't never had to whoop on my leg or nothing. Mine, when you unsnap them, they're going. And that's something that you can't put into a dog. That heart and drive, you can't put it into them. They
So
either
let's
got to
talk a
have
little
it
bit
or they don't.
about competition hunts versus pleasure
Mm-hmm.
hunting. Do you do both?
Yes, sir. Yep. I
Tell me about the
pleasure hunt.
competition world.
Well, I started really running the hunts pretty hard when I bought May back in. She's 8 now. I bought her when she was 2, so that was probably 2020, something like that. I bought her, and I started hunting the little UKC hunts, and they were fun. But I don't enjoy going to a feed pile or a bucket and having 4 dogs on a tree. That I don't get much out of that. So I started hunting PKC pretty hard that year, and I was messing around hunting some local hunts, and I was winning a few. And I got to looking on the internet, and I was real close to being in the top 16 with about 4 months left to go in the race. I probably had $600 won, little $35 hunch, $55 hunch. And I decided I was going to run the race. Well, that was probably, let's see, the race ends in September, so that was probably end of June, 1st of July. I decided to run the race hard. So I was at 2 hunts a week for the remainder of that race. That year was tough. We had some good dogs finishing the top 16, and I think I put $1,500 on her in open money, and I ended up 11th in the state.
Well, that's pretty good. So,
Yeah,
your dog got any titles?
yeah, she's dual Grand Knight in UKC. She's PKC Silver Champion. She's
That's that's
she's won
fantastic.
won a good bit. I think I UKC I won 13 out of like 17 casts with her to grand her out, and she's grand on the bench. When I started running these hunts, man, PKC, you can win hundreds of $1,000s a year doing that stuff now. And back then, you had your pro hunts, which were $3, $4, $500 entry hunts. You had a few, we'd have $2,000 or $3,000, $1,500 entry hunts around here a year, but there wasn't a truck hunt every weekend or a $100,000 hunt every weekend like there is now. And I won. She's silver champion, but she's won probably 50 something PKC cast in her lifetime. And if I could have put her in the bigger entry fee, I was fresh out of college. I didn't have no money. I couldn't afford to go gamble $5,000 on a weekend. So I really got her a little ahead of when I wish I would have got her. If I had her now, she'd be a platinum easily.
Well, you know what to do.
Oh, yeah.
Get
I
a
got her
pup and
daughter well on her way.
get a pup and start training. So the other night
And
when we were on, you talked about the Grand American and how much money it brings to the area. You want to
yes,
talk
sir.
about that?
Yeah. I've been hunting that hunt since I started hunting, and man, it brings so many people, and it's not just coon hunters. It's all anybody that hunts a sporting dog comes to get, Garmin's there. All your vendors are there. Get your hip boots, your tracking stuff, your nameplate collars, you name it, dog boxes, whatever you need, it's there. And it just draws a huge crowd. I've been from Florida to Indiana to these hunts, and that's probably the biggest hunt crowd wise that I've ever seen. And, over lodging, restaurants, all that good stuff, it brings a couple $1 million to the city of Orangeburg every year.
It's probably more than a couple of $1 million.
Yeah,
That's a
my
big
research
event.
that I did says it's an average of $4 million, and on a good year when we have a good crowd, it's been upwards of $7 million. So, traveling, I've been Florida, Georgia, Arkansas, Louisiana, Mississippi, Indiana, Virginia, North Carolina, Illinois. I've been all over the place hunting, and these hunts really do. They bring a significant amount of revenue to a town. They might be in a little town that has nobody in it. My favorite place to go is Indiana, and there's one gas station in the town we stay in. And just to bring like the Super Stakes or the World Hunt or the Nationals, that brings a lot of people, and people will
So,
spend money.
so I did a quick search. A 2022 Carolina Sportsman's Report says past economic impact studies found the Grand American draws about 30,000 participants and spectators
Yes,
and
sir.
pumps more than $7 million into the Orangeburg County economy.
Yep. And
30,000 participants. Where are they all staying? They're staying outside of Orangeburg. They've got to be. There's not that many motels around there.
Yeah, anywhere
That's a
close you can get it.
that's wild, man.
It's a ton of people. Ton.
So it's big money.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I mean that's significant in my eyes.
I mean, you got gas, you got lodging, you got food, you got the actual entry into the event. I mean,
Sure.
that's small compared to everything else. Um, what did I leave out? Oh, you got the vendors. You got
Oh yeah,
vendors there
it's
just selling all kinds of stuff.
packed with vendors. I mean, there's anything you can think of that's got related to any kind of hound hunting or sporting dogs. It's there.
I guess you saw the episode where I interviewed the young lady whose dog was stolen at Grand American. Did you see that
Yes,
one?
I did. I did.
And they know. Then the guy's serving time that stole the dog, but she still don't have her dog back.
I hate that. I hate it. I really do. And I'm fortunate. I live 10 minutes down the road from fairgrounds. So I leave my dog at the house, and I usually guide. So I just swing by the house and pick my dog up because it's just can't trust people nowadays. And
Yeah, you said it. People are just awful. I mean, they
I
really
know.
are. People are awful.
Oh, I know.
I don't I don't think people were raised the same way I was. I
Me either.
I don't understand some people. I wrote an article the other day. Um, there's a movie that's out now called The Odyssey. I don't know if you read that book when you
I
were
did.
in school,
Yep.
but the main premise, or one of the main premises of the book's all centered around the dog. Ulysses' dog
Yep.
is 20 some years old and lives to see his master return. But the main thing of the book couldn't, or it couldn't happen without the rule of Zeus, which is you entertain strangers, you take care of strangers, you put them up for the night, you feed them, you do what you need to do to take care of them, and that that same tenet goes all the way across every religion that you can find on this planet.
Mm-hmm.
Christianity teaches the same thing. Be kind to strangers because you may be entertaining angels and you don't know it.
Yes, sir.
Judaism, Islam, Buddhist, Sikh, you name it. You pick a religion on this planet, and it has that exact same statement that you're supposed to take care of one another. You're supposed to look out for one another. You're supposed to be kind to strangers. It's embedded in the human race as far back as prehistory. And for some reason, in the last 30 years or so, the human race has completely forgotten that we're all in this together.
Oh yeah.
And I really don't know why. Greed.
I don't either.
Chaucer might have been on to something with the 7 deadly sins. Greed, envy, those are 2 big ones.
Yes, sir. Absolutely. And I've seen that in these hunts. People will cheat their mama for $72.
I
And
found
some
that to
of
be
them.
I found that to be true about any human in general. They'll tell you how truthful they are until there's a dollar involved, and then they'll lie, cheat, and steal. And they'll do it while they're quoting Bible verses.
Yep. And that's why my nephew, he is a great handler. He might be better than me. I'll give him all the credit. He sticks with me at night. He hunts hard. He's learned a lot. He sits back and pays attention and listens to what I tell him. But I don't think he's ready to compete at a high level yet. I just don't, you know, if an adult does something that ain't in the rule book or tries to bend the rule or whatever it may be, I don't want it to be him versus an adult in the woods. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I understand that. We had 2 instances in the past 6 months. I'll say the last 6 months, where that someone drove out to a dog on a tree and unalived the dog. I'm going to use those words because I'm going to post this on multiple social media platforms, and some of them have got some serious restrictions on what words you're allowed to say.
Yeah.
So they went out to the tree and unalived the dog, and in both cases, the dog was where the dog had legal right to be, and they're still unsolved. Nobody knows who did it. Even though one of the cases there was I don't know, $30,000 or so at play in reward money, and still nobody's come forward about it. I don't understand it. I really don't.
I don't either, man. But and that's something that I really worry about in the back of my mind. Now, it's one thing if we got to worry about gators and stuff around here. It's one thing for an accident like that to happen. It's gonna happen. I've had multiple of my. It's never happened to me, but multiple of my friends have had dogs ate by gators and killed. And something like that, you can't really help. I mean, anywhere around where I'm at, any little water hole's got alligator in it. So,
Well, I tell people, I've had people ask me, said, are there alligators or snakes around here? And I'll tell them, I say, if you see some water, you go up and touch that water and tap your hand in it. And if it's wet, put it up to your mouth and lick it. If it tastes like fresh water, it's got gators in it and water moccasins.
yes, sir.
If it tastes like salt water, it's got sharks in it. And it might even still have some gators and water moccasins in it too, because they ain't scared of the salt water either.
Yep. But just in the back of my mind, man, I spend. I can't put a dollar figure on it, but I've got a lot of money tied up in my operation. As far as May cost me 5 figures when I bought her. No, that was in 2020. That was before the dog prices really went out the roof like they have here. Lately, I've seen dogs go for hundreds of thousands of dollars. I've had blank checks laid on my tailgate to take my dog home. I don't think people realize that a good dog is an investment. You can't replace them. And to have that thought in the back of my mind that my dog could be unalived any night I turn her loose really scares me about the way things are going nowadays. And and just like you say, they may be on the land that you're supposed to be hunting, and you still got to worry about it.
Well, we had a situation up, I think it was in Ohio. I might have my state wrong, but it was in that general area where the guy was coyote hunting, and he had tracking collars on his dogs. He had permission to hunt the land. He was doing everything right, and the dogs ran up on a guy out there in the on the farm, and he was right behind his dogs, but the guy had shot all of his dogs by the time he got there, and was taking the GPS collars off and was holding up the GPS collars like I did this.
Right.
So he asked the guy, and he recorded it. So the whole thing's on recording. He's like, "What did you do?" And the guy said, "You don't need to have your dogs on my land." And he kept saying, "This is my land. This is my land." It was not his land.
Yeah.
It wasn't his land. It wasn't his daughter's land. It wasn't his son's land. It was not his land, period. He had nothing to do with the land other than he lived on a 100 by 200 lot that was in front of it. It wasn't his. People are claiming stuff that ain't theirs all the time. Now that guy wound up with several felony convictions, and he kind of got what he had coming to him.
And I think people that do that deserve every bit of it. I look at my dogs; they're treated just as good as my kid is. I take top-notch care of every dog that I have. And I've always had the mindset, they work for me every night. These dogs do. I hunt 5 or 6 nights a week year round. I might cut back to 3 or 4 if I'm not pushing a dog in the hunts or something in July or August. But I hunt real hard, and I've always thought, them dogs, they do their job, I'm going to do mine. And that involves taking care of them. And it costs.
So what's your dog's name, Chafford?
The one I'm hunting now is named May Ring Your Bell. I call her Bell. She's off of Wipeout Threesomes Big May, which is May started my breeding program around here, and the bloodline that I found that I liked. And Bell's on the track that she may be a little better than May. She does some things that I like a lot. She's a real accurate little dog. When she trees, she's gonna have a coon. She's not real junky. She treated a few possums when she was young. She'd run a deer here and there, but the good ones, in my opinion, you start putting some fur in the mouth on what you want them to tree, they figure it out on their own. They're smart.
Yeah, that's right. So
They're
the information I got here
give
is
them credit for.
Wipeout Threesomes Big May in 2022, 2023, and 2024. I show Grand American entries.
Yep.
And I show Big May finishing 4th in 2025 in the Grand American Pro Slam. Is that right?
That's correct. So May, that's the thing my buddy Mikey down in Walterboro started doing, and it gets people here, a couple nights early, and it gives them another reason to come. That's good money you can win in that hunt. I think we brought $1,000 home, and we finished 4th. Yeah, I've never had great luck in the Grand American, the actual hunt. I've I won some cash, but I've never really
I
placed in
also
that one.
I also show you as co-owner of Mojo's Little Easy,
I
finished
was
third
at
in
one.
2022. Is that right?
Yeah, I was at one time. Me and Kyle had that dog, and we bought her young, and we got her going good and treeing coons and stuff, and sold her to a buddy of mine right here that I used to hunt with a good bit, and he had a lot of success with that dog. Biggest hunt I've ever won was with that dog. I handled her for him some, and he handled my dog some. You know, it takes a team. It does, and we've all been pretty successful with these dogs. I won the South Carolina Hall of Fame hunt with Easy. That was probably the same year she got in Final Four at the Grand American.
So
But
we
yeah,
were
we've
on the podcast the other night. You and I together. You joined us on the panel, and we were talking with a attorney that's in a property rights organization. And I don't remember if we did it on the podcast or if he and I have talked about it since, but he pointed out to me that when people talk about property rights and they're talking about hunting dogs, that a lot of times people overlook the fact that hunting dogs are quite valuable property.
very valuable.
They
I
are
value
considered
mine pretty
property,
highly.
and they're very valuable. And I think that skips over some people.
I do
It,
too. I,
you know
I,
my position on it.
oh yeah, oh
If
yeah.
you turn your dog out once in a while and your dog gets out of bounds or on somebody else's property, that's a mistake. And I even define that a mistake is something that happens maybe once or twice a year.
Right.
But if you turn your dog out and every time your dog's out, your dog's on somebody else's property and the other person doesn't want your dog there, it's a habit. It's a bad
Oh
habit.
yeah.
It's something that you shouldn't do, and you probably should be punished for it.
Absolutely. I agree.
That's been my position the whole time I've been doing this internet stuff. I've had a bunch of people tell all kinds of lies on me and say that I said things that I didn't say, and that I did things that I didn't do. But that's been my position the whole time. So if you step back, if you actually step back and think about this private property rights,
Mm-hmm.
if um, if someone's valuable private property ends up on the valuable private property of another person, those two people should be able to come to an understanding so that they can separate their valuable private property.
I fully
And if
agree.
it happens repeatedly, um, there should be consequences.
Sure.
But we shouldn't punish a mistake.
I agree. I agree 100%. And like you say, the people that don't do this, they don't understand, man. I'm spending gas prices like they are now. Some nights I drive an hour to go hunt. I don't hunt the same woods every night. I like to put my dog in different situations, different places. And I probably spend $200 or $300 a week in gas. That's just gas. That's not including my time, everything else that I put into it. And when you add all that up, it's an investment in a dog.
You don't just drive down the road and see a piece of woods and think, man, I'd love to hunt that, and stop and throw your dog out there, do you?
Right.
You don't do that. I
No.
don't know anybody that does do that.
Nope. If I see somewhere I want to hunt, I'll find out whose it is and I'll ask them. You know, the worst they could say is no.
Well, it used to be that the farmers really wanted the raccoons and the deer,
Oh, yeah.
especially the raccoons and the deer, off their property because they destroyed their crops. They
Yes, sir.
they take a lot from their crops and such.
They absolutely do. and some guys around here getting pretty big into quail hunting and bird hunting and stuff, and they'll let me hunt a good bit and help them out, do a little population control for them,
Yeah,
stuff like
the
that.
raccoons and quail don't really get along too good. Well, quail don't get along with anything because everything eats quail.
Yep.
Quail and rabbit. Everything eats quails and everything eats rabbits.
Yep. Yep.
We've even got a deer on trail cam eating quail eggs.
I've heard of it. I've heard of people running into that.
So we've got a video of the trail cam where the deer comes over and literally pushes the mama quail off the nest and stands there and eats the quail eggs.
Yeah, no, I'm pretty fortunate. I've got some game land, probably 45 minutes from the house. I can drive down there, but man, it's on the lake and it's full of alligators. I can only hunt it a couple months out of the year and feel safe about it. So a lot of the time, and a lot of my summer hunting is little heads of woods on farmland and stuff like that. Got a bunch of fields in there. It ain't no big blocks of woods, but it's enough land to hold a dog. But a lot of it's field.
So when you go out coon hunting, do you normally go by yourself or do you go with a couple of other people or how do you do it?
A little bit of both. I got my neighbor right here lives a couple houses down from me. Me and him. Usually, if I go, he's going, and if he goes, I go. Me and him and another buddy of mine, Clayton Weeks and Justin Crowder. We hunted together really hard this year, especially in the wintertime. I think, man, we didn't miss many nights. And my nephew, when he doesn't have schoolwork or a test or something like that, he'll hunt with me some during the week. But on the weekends, he's with me every night, and in the summer, he's with me every night. But I'll hunt by myself too, and it don't matter.
That's something that a lot of people that don't do it really don't realize that coon hunting and bear hunting have a lot in common.
Yes, sir.
Deer hunting with dogs is a little different. When we deer hunt with dogs, we go out and we try and surround the block, and we're in communication with radios from the truck, and we try and keep the dogs contained within the block that we're hunting. We don't really want to cross into another block, even if it's our land. We really don't want them crossing out. We're trying to keep them contained in our block where we are.
Yep. Yep.
And when I go out coon hunting with the guys, or we go out to start a bear hunt, we normally start out tracking. And I remember my dad doing that with deer back in the 70s because there weren't any deer.
Yeah.
And we might ride around looking for a deer track that was about the size of a quarter and finally turn the dogs out on that.
That's how my dad used to do it.
But when we go out and start to coon hunt or start to bear hunt, we'll ride the path a little bit, or we'll get out and walk the path, and we're kind of looking for a fresh track.
Mm-hmm.
And then we might cast one dog and see if we can get that dog to get something moving. And the dog starts opening good, we'll maybe turn 2 or 3 more dogs in there, depending on how many dogs we got with us. But bear hunting, we normally run 3 to 5 dogs.
Yeah, see, I do stuff a little different than some coon hunters. You know, I enjoy pleasure hunting. I do, but when I'm pleasure hunting, I'm training on a dog. I'm putting her in situations that I think will help in a competition hunt. Every time I go hunting, I'm running scenarios through my head. I run a stopwatch on her every single time I unsnap her. So like when I'm first starting a dog now, when I get them back from Adam out the starting pen, they will not see another dog. I'll hunt that dog by itself. You know, most of the time just me and that dog. I'll hunt that dog for 6 months, 7 months by itself, however long it takes till that dog starts consistently treeing coons. Every time I take it, when I can take it and tree 2 or 3 coons in a few hours, then I introduce it to other dogs. And when I introduce it to other dogs, I might not turn it loose with another dog per se. I might let another dog go in there and get treed, let somebody go to that tree, and I'll cut my dog loose. I like a dog to be by itself. I don't like a dog to cover another dog. If they run a track together out the truck, that's fine. They can tree together. I have no problem with that. But you win a lot more of these big competition hunts being off by yourself, treating your own coon. So that's how I start mine. I give them that foundation to tree their own coon. I don't want them to rely on anything helping them. So just kind of depends on what dog I'm hunting and how far along that dog is as to how many dogs I'll hunt it with. And I don't put them in a bunch of little small hunts because a lot of them dogs, sometimes they're trashy. They might run something. They might do something I don't like. And a dog will pick up a habit quick,
Well, I
real
can
quick.
assure you mine are trashy right now because they're puppies.
Yep. And that's why when mine are puppies, I keep them off by themselves, and we focus in and get her where I think she needs to be, and then I'll start putting her with other dogs and working her off of other dogs and stuff like that. But and I enjoy some nights we'll turn 3 or 4 dogs loose together. We do it, we mix it up. You know what I'm saying? I'll hunt her by herself some, and then I'll hunt her with other dogs for a little while, and then I'll hunt her by herself some. Just something that's been successful for me as far as a young dog.
So, what would you say to someone that says that dogs run the deer off their property all the time?
They don't. I've deer hunted the same property I coon hunt, and I coon hunted a place that I got picked up. One of the quail places I was talking about. And last summer, I think Belle was born in May, so she was right at a year old last summer. And I think I hunted 58 out of 60 nights in June and July right there. I didn't miss but a handful of nights. Hunted her real hard. I had her clicking. I had her going. And when I get one going, I don't sit them up. So I hunted her very hard right there and into August. And them boys sending me trail cam pictures. My kid went out there. He killed a couple of deer out there. He hunted a few times, but there was some nice bucks killed in the same weeks that I was in those woods 4 to 5 nights a week, running dogs all through it. I mean, I don't think that it affects it. If anything, I think it helps because it makes them move around. If you got a deer that you're only seeing at night, you take a dog and move it around, move it out of there at night. You'll catch it coming back in the daytime. Them deer know where home is. They ain't going far.
So, Jones County, North Carolina, has a big deer contest, and you have to enter the contest ahead of hunting season. You've got I think it's $100 entry fee. I might be wrong on the entry fee, so I'm sure that when this airs, there'll be somebody in the comments to correct me if I misquote the entry fee. I can assure you there'll be somebody right there to straighten me out. Man, you were
Oh yeah.
wrong. Anyway, they have a big deer competition. It's not a big buck. It's not a big doe. It's a big deer. It goes by weight. My hunting club has won that um, competition 2 or 3 times in the last few years. And we've done it on property that we've managed since the 70s and that we've run dogs on for deer, rabbit, and bear and raccoon since the 70s.
Yep.
And we, like I say, we've won that contest a couple of times now. And I dare
Oh
say
yeah.
we'll probably win it again. The Duplin Onslow Hunters Association has a contest also, and people from my club have won that one too for deer and bear. So I don't I don't think they run them off. I also understand the guy who has, worked his whole life and got him enough money together to buy him a small piece of property that he doesn't want us on it. I get that. I'm
Oh
gonna
yeah.
try. I'm going to endeavor to stay off of it.
That's right. Yep.
But me and that guy, if we're neighbors, if he and I can sit down and talk to each other, I can really make it worth his while. If he could overlook my dog maybe stepping on his property occasionally, that is, if he likes to hunt. Because
Right.
I can give him access to tens of thousands of acres that he wouldn't have access to.
Oh yeah.
So, there's all kinds of things where one hand's going to wash the other.
Sure.
I hear these people, the comment cowboys, they gallop into the comments and they throw down this scenario that a lot of times it don't even sound doable, and then they gallop away on the horse. They're all hat, no horse really. It's a straw horse, but they never come back to answer any questions. But they've always got this really horrible scenario. So I've started inviting people to come in here and get on camera and put their face in front of it and tell me about it. So I've got a hunter that's going to be on camera Tuesday night, I think. Yeah, Tuesday night. He's coming on. He's a trophy hunter. He's in a trophy hunting club. And I'm going to tell you, he sent me some pictures. He's got some nice deer. Some really nice deer on camera. He's got some deer that don't look like Eastern North Carolina deer on camera.
Yeah.
I can tell they put some effort into managing those deer. And I haven't talked to him yet, so I'm not going to put the cart in front of the horse. I'm going to wait until we have that conversation. But I can see where he would, if he's hunting for antlers and big deer, I can see where he wouldn't want those deer to run away from his property.
Sure.
I get that. So, and they're hunting a fairly sized club. They're hunting 11,000 acres. So I can tell you that my club's about the same size. And then we have some farmland that's around the club that we really don't hunt the farmland. So, but we've got trail cameras there. So we know what's going on around the club and everything. Last year, I killed a buck that would have been a nice 8-point if he hadn't broke off half his rack. He broke one side of his rack off fighting or whatever. We had him on trail cam at 4 o'clock in the morning at the hog farm. And I killed him at 2 o'clock in the afternoon on the club about 4 miles away.
They travel?
About 4 miles from where he was at 4 o'clock in the morning. So, and we've got, like I say, a 10,000 acre club. We got rules. You can't shoot every deer you see. We got management rules, and we've got deer. We've got a lot of deer. Truth be known, we might have too many deer. But I brought people that still hunt to the club to deer hunt, and I had one guy tell me it was like the first week of December. By 9 o'clock that morning, he said, I've seen more deer today than I've seen the last 2 hunting seasons that I've tried to hunt with my food plots and my bait feeders and stuff. He said, I've seen more deer today by 9 o'clock in the morning than I've seen in 2 seasons. He's a member of the club now, and he's actually got his own pack of dogs, which is pretty amazing to me.
That is.
I've taken hundreds of people hunting with hounds, hundreds, and I've only had 2 so far that said they absolutely did not like it.
Yeah.
Now, I've had several that didn't go out and get a pack of dogs and start doing it themselves.
Right.
But I've taken hundreds of people. I've taken a congressman. I've taken a famous country and western singer. I've taken Joe Blow down the street. I've taken a whole bunch of kids. I took one kid that had hyperactive disorder. He couldn't sit still, couldn't be quiet. And his dad's a real active still hunter. And he asked me, he said, will you take him hunting with you? I said, absolutely. Basically, his daddy wanted to go sit in the stand and get some peace and quiet.
Yeah.
So I carried him with me, and that boy got hooked. Look, he's a bear hunter now. He's got bear dogs. He's got truck. He's got side by side. He's got 4-wheeler. He's got radios on everything. He is a full blown bear hunter.
Yes, sir.
And it started sitting on the tailgate of my truck, listening to dogs run and a little bitty doe running out about the size of the dogs to him. And he missed, but he took his shot. And no, excuse me, he did not miss. We put that deer on top of the dog box.
That's cool.
And a couple of the boys that I was hunting with got on the radio, said, what have you got on your dog box? You rabbit hunting? I said, let me tell you something. There's a 12-year-old kid sitting on my passenger seat that took that deer.
Happy
That's
as
his
can
deer.
be.
And the whole conversation changed. It was like, well, tell that kid congratulations.
Yep.
Good for him.
Yep.
It's his first deer. Now, the next one he had to be a little more picky on.
That's right.
I give him the experience. I put him up there. We got his first deer. We did the whole ceremony where we smeared his face with the blood.
Oh, yeah.
We did the whole thing, you know. But and then we sort of said, you know, we normally don't take them this small, but it's your first time. It's your first deer. It's going to be some of the most tender meats you've ever eaten. It's going to be
Yes,
delicious.
sir. Right about that.
You're gonna enjoy it. It's going to be good.
Oh yeah.
So to me, that's what it's all about. And I've been out still hunting. I've hunted other states. I've hunted Colorado. I've hunted Idaho. I've hunted other countries while I was in the military. So I've never found anything I enjoyed as much as hunting with dogs.
I'm the same way. I've look behind me right here. I've killed some nice deer out deer stand. I've killed good bucks dog hunting. I got a bunch of racks hanging out there on the shed, but I enjoy working a dog. I enjoy training a dog, and I enjoy going and winning with a dog. I just, it ain't about the kill to me necessarily. I'll shoot coons if somebody wants them gone, yeah. But I don't kill coons very often unless my dog needs one. I just like to chase and listening to a dog work. It's
But
my thing. I get it.
sometimes you got to pay the dog.
Oh yeah. I will shoot them.
Sometimes you got to pay the dog. If the dog spends, you know, his whole life treeing a coon and don't ever get to chew on one, he might start getting upset with you.
Absolutely.
Sometimes you got to pay him.
And all dogs are different. Some of them, I've had dogs, May, you could shoot everyone she treed and it never affected her. I've had dogs, maybe I shoot 1 out of 30. Just, you know, you gotta, you know the dog. You know what the dog needs, when it needs a reward. If it does a good job on a tough track or something, I'll put fur in its mouth.
So I had a deer dog named Fred. Fred was mostly black. He looked like a black and tan with short ears. Had a small white patch on his chest. And Fred was a hard running dog, and this was before I had an alpha or any type of tone system. So, and Fred was hard to catch. He wanted to come in when it was time for him to come in.
Oh yeah.
But old Fred, you had to pay Fred every once in a while. He was running hard one night, and I mean hard. And I tried to catch him and tried to catch him and tried to catch him and could not catch that dog. He's one of the reasons I have an alpha system today, as a matter of fact.
Yeah.
But he was running this deer that wasn't much bigger than he was. And the deer come running up to me. And I was standing right there with my shotgun. And the deer ran right up and almost stepped on my foot and ran off. And Fred came running up there, and he looked at me like, "What are you doing?" I ran the deer right to you. What are you doing? And he turned and started to run the other way and take off, and my son tackled him like he's tackling a football player. My
Oh
son
yeah.
was about 14 at the time. He said, "We ain't chasing you no more tonight."
Yep. I've
So,
done it.
so we called old Fred and got him in the truck and got back up to the clubhouse, and we had taken several deer that day.
Mm-hmm.
And my son reached over and picked up a deer hide and some stuff that we were going to toss out, and gave it to Fred. And Fred was so happy.
Oh yeah.
He chewed and he gnawed and he pulled and he done. You got to pay the dog.
Yes, sir. They work hard for you. A lot of people don't realize how hard a dog works, especially if you hunt like I do. I mean, I some nights I work harder hunting than I do at work. It's hard work on a handler and it's hard work on a dog, and to really be dedicated to it, it takes a lot. It's just a lot of time away from your family. You got to have a good wife. Put up with the way I hunt, 'cause I'm
Hunting
gone a
with
lot of the
hounds,
time.
hunting with hounds is the hardest job I've ever had.
Yes,
People
sir.
say that you're doing it
Absolutely.
the easy way when you hunt with dogs. Trust me,
No,
you ain't.
you are not.
So let's talk about the difference between reality and social media. I touched on it just a minute ago about the comment cowboys that come galloping into the comments, but real life is not social media, and the discussion that we've been having recently is not going to be determined in the comment section of social media.
That's right.
So you want to touch on that briefly, and we're going to put a bow on this thing here in a minute.
Yeah, I think a lot of these guys that, just like you say, they think we're doing it the easy way. They don't agree with the way we're doing it. I think if they would just come see, a lot of them have no clue as to what they're even talking about. I think if they could see, and this wouldn't change everybody's perspective, of course, but if they could see what we do, the hard work we put into a dog, the way that dog works, they could understand and get a grasp on it a little better as to why we do what we do. I think a lot of these people commenting, they just want to hear their self talk, want to see their name pop up on there, whatever the case may be. I don't think they fully understand the situation that they're trying to talk about, and I don't think they fully understand what's actually going on. They haven't been to these meetings. They haven't been actively involved to know what's actually going on in real life. You look at something on social media, you can portray it any way you want to. But unless you saw it with your own eyes or hear it with your own ears or are involved in it or a part of it, you don't really know everything.
I can assure you, when this post, there's going to be somebody in the comments saying, "Well, you need to keep your dogs off other people's property." They will not have
And
watched this and seen where I said that. I'm not going to
and
repeat the whole thing, but my whole mission statement is keep your dogs off your neighbor's property.
I
I mean, that's my
promise you,
statement.
I promise anybody listening that's gonna listen to this, I don't want my dog bothering you or on your land just as much as you don't want the dog on there. I
Why
try
why would I
everything
want
I
my dog
can.
why would I want my dog on somebody's land I can't hunt? That don't make no sense to me. I don't
Exactly.
want him over there.
No, I'm not. I don't want to take the risk of me not being able to go get the dog or what the case may be. Like I say, my dogs are family to me. I look at them like they're my children. I spend time with them every single day. I put a lot of time, a lot of money, a lot of effort into them, and I don't want them bothering anybody else. I don't want them on any land they ain't supposed to be on. But like you say, everybody makes mistakes. There's nobody that's perfect in this world.
Well, there was one, and they put him on a cross.
That's the only one.
So there was one, and they put him on a cross. He still wasn't good enough.
That is
So
the only one.
it is what it is.
Everybody makes mistakes.
But you shouldn't make a mistake every time you go in the woods. You really
Correct.
shouldn't.
Correct. I agree with that 100%. But yeah, like I don't want my dog anywhere that it could be in any kind of harm's way. I try to keep it where I can get to it, where I can hear it. I don't usually let my dog get out of hearing distance of me. I try to keep up with her pretty close.
So today was a big day in the hunting community. There is an organization called the Great American Hound Pup Giveaway. I had them on the show a few weeks back, and today is the day that they're drawing, and they're
Okay.
giving away hound pups to children. Now, the children had to write in and tell why they wanted a hound pup and what they were going to do with it and how they were going to take care of it. So today's the day that they find out if they get a pup,
I
if they
think
were selected to get a pup.
that's a great thing. A great thing. These dogs, they teach a kid responsibility. They give a kid a goal, something to work towards. When we were training Belle, my nephew, man, to see her go from a baby puppy born at my house to winning hunts. He's won hunts with her. I've won hunts with her. It gives them a sense of accomplishment. And to me, in life, you got to have goals. Got to have a good work ethic. And a dog teaches a child that. It's a great teaching tool. And
Yeah, they if they're taking care of a pack of dogs, they're not out there running the roads and they're not out there using drugs and
yes, sir.
robbing stores and
Absolutely.
stuff. It's amazing how the ones that grew up hunting and fishing don't usually turn into criminals.
Yep. You're exactly right. It's the hunters, all around here, we all get along. We coon hunt together, deer hunt together, fish together. It's a family, man. And a lot of dog hunters are great people. They give you the shirt off their back. I mean, we've done coon hunt just like you said. You did a field trial to raise all that money. We've done coon hunts to raise money. We got a hunt coming up in December for a good buddy of mine's girlfriend's got cancer, and we're putting on a big hunt for her, raising money for her. A lot of people help other people out doing this stuff.
You know,
It's a
back
great way to raise a kid.
back to those comments. We had a bunch of people commenting on your video that were talking about, not letting the dogs chase deer on and this, that, and the other. And you're a coon hunter. You were actually talking about coon hunting. That's some of that low information that I'm talking about. People will
There you go.
argue and fuss about stuff and not have any idea what they're talking about.
Yep. I coon hunt now, but I've deer hunted, I've squirrel hunted, I've rabbit hunted. Anything you could do with a dog, I've about done it.
So, what advice do you have for what advice do you have for a young man about 15 or young woman about 15 years old that's looking to get their first dog? What advice you got for them?
Don't start with a puppy. Puppy's the hardest thing to start with. And find you a dog that's already going and learn the sport. See if you really like it. If you really like it and want to stick with it, then you start training on something. If you're gonna be don't have a mentor or somebody to help you along the way, like if my kid wanted a puppy, that's fine. I'll help him train it. But if you're just starting out and know absolutely nothing about it, a young dog will frustrate you a little bit. There's times I've sat in the woods and wondered, why am I doing this? But then when they start doing what you want them to do, it's the best feeling in the world.
When somebody tells me, well, my dog would never do that,
They'll make a liar out of you quick.
as soon as you say my dog would never do that. They're gonna get out there and never like they've never before. You know what I
Absolutely.
mean?
Yes, sir. And don't ever talk a dog up. People ask me, so I'll see people come to these hunts. Man, my dog's so good. Da da da. This that this that. They'll get beat. I don't ever talk my dog up. I just let her do her thing. She'll.
I've preached enough, and we've talked about coon hunting and deer hunting and everything else. So I'm gonna let you wrap it up, Chafford.
I just want to give a few thank yous. I want to thank Kyle Hildebrand. He got me into this sport, and he has taught me a lot, a lot about a dog. He's taught me everything he knows and has helped me along the way. He's helped me start dogs. He's hunted dogs. Me and him have came a long way from where we started. And I owe a lot of credit to him for my success in this sport. Want to thank Adam Lowry. He started a lot of good dogs for me. He's handled dogs for me. He's tuned dogs up for me. If I got a problem with one that I can't figure out how to fix, he'll help me, give me advice. He's been a great friend to me in this sport. And Justin Crowder and Clayton Weeks, we hunt together very hard. Got a good group that hunts together and help each other out. And I want to see their dogs win just as much as I want to see mine. And if you get a group of people like that, it makes it very enjoyable. And it makes it a lot easier on you. I want to thank you for having me on here and letting me talk. Coon hunting, I can talk for hours on coon hunting. I love it. I love it like nothing else.
Well, I thank
Besides
you
my
for coming
wife and
on.
my family, coon hunting is everything to me.
Well, I thank you for coming on, and you know, my goal is to show people that there are reasonable people
Oh
out
yeah.
here that are willing to do things the legal and ethical way,
Yes,
and
sir.
they're willing to be reasonable about it. And the reasonable section is the important section because our law in this country is always based on what a reasonable man would do. Not an unreasonable man, but what's the reasonable man standard? So we need to look at what reasonable people do and how reasonable people deal with things.
Yeah,
So
I think that would solve a lot of what's going on if we could just reason with each other, come to an agreement, and everybody can enjoy what they love enjoying, whatever makes them happy. I think everybody should be able to do what makes them happy. You only get one life.
that's right. You only get one life, and occasionally you get to come back.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
got to come back.
occasionally.
Occasionally you get to come back. I'm not going to hold you up. I do appreciate you coming on. I appreciate you talking coon hunting with me,
Yes, sir.
and I appreciate you being on the other night as well.
Absolutely.
We'll have you back later. You'll have to go out there and win a big championship hunt or something, and we'll interview you.
We're
So,
gonna try. Give me a couple more months with Bill. I'm gonna start. I'm gonna push her pretty hard in these hunts.
so ladies and gentlemen, Chafford's going to be signing autographs later in the week. He'll be he'll be signing autographs. I think he's only going to charge about $35 per autograph.
That's right. That sounds good.
That's a pretty good deal. He's got a lot of dog food to buy. But
Oh yeah.
ladies and gentlemen, Chafford Toole, tell him thank you for being here.
Yes, sir. Thank you, Todd. Have a good night.
All right, good night to you.
See you, brother.